The Young and the Restless spoilers Saturdays full October 19, 24. The Abbott household had always been a battleground of emotions, alliances, and hidden agendas. But recently, tensions had been escalating, threatening to tear the family apart even further. Claire, feeling an unshakable connection to the Abbott legacy, had been meddling more and more in their affairs. To her, the Abbott family was no longer just her in-laws, it was her own family, and she was determined to protect and influence it as she saw fit. Claire's increasing involvement. Claire's involvement began subtly. She started attending family gatherings more frequently, offering unsolicited advice on business decisions and personal matters alike. Her assertiveness, once seen as a beneficial quality, now bordered on overbearing. Claire believed that her perspective was crucial for the Abbott family's success, but not everyone shared her enthusiasm. Victoria and Cole Abbott, recognizing the growing strain, decided it was time to address the issue head-on. They called a family meeting, gathering their children and spouses in the spacious living room of their upscale Genoa City home. The air was thick with tension as Victoria took a deep breath, her eyes meeting Claire's with a mixture of concern and frustration. "Claire," Victoria began, her voice steady but firm, "we appreciate everything you've done for us, but your constant interference is causing more harm than good. This family has its own dynamics and challenges, and we need to handle them our way." Cole nodded in agreement, adding, "The rivalry between Jabot and Newman has been long and complicated. We've overcome countless obstacles to be where we are today. Your actions are jeopardizing the hard-earned harmony we've built. A fractured family." Victoria continued, her gaze softening as she spoke of her own experiences. "Look at Billy and me. We were once so in love, working together to bridge the gap between our families. But the pressures and misunderstandings led to our divorce. We don't want to repeat that with Claire." Billy Abbott, Victoria's ex-husband, sat quietly, his presence a reminder of the fragile peace that still lingered between the two powerful families. The mention of their divorce hung in the air, a testament to how easily things could spiral out of control. Claire, taken aback by the direct confrontation, struggled to maintain her composure. "I'm only trying to help," she insisted, her voice wavering slightly. "I care about this family, and I want to see us succeed together." Victoria sighed, her frustration evident. "We understand that, Claire. But sometimes, less is more. Let us handle our own affairs without your constant oversight." Kyle's descent into greed. Meanwhile, across town, Kyle Abbott's obsession with power was reaching new heights. His ambition had always been a double-edged sword, driving him to achieve great things while also leading him down a dark path. Now, Kyle was sinking deeper into his quest for dominance, unable to extricate himself from the web of greed he had spun. At Newman Enterprises, Kyle's actions were becoming increasingly erratic. He had been maneuvering behind the scenes, manipulating situations to his advantage, often at the expense of others. His relentless pursuit of power had alienated many within the company, and whispers of his ruthless tactics were beginning to circulate. Cole and Victoria had noticed the change in their son. His once charismatic and strategic mind was now clouded with paranoia and a desperate need to control every aspect of his life. They worried that Kyle was losing himself in the process, unable to recognize the damage he was causing not only to himself but to the entire Abbott family legacy. Daniel's desperation. Back at Newman Enterprises, Daniel Newman was in the midst of his own crisis. The threat of imprisonment loomed over him like a dark cloud, all because of the dangerous evidence that Chance Chancellor had amassed against him. Chance, driven by his own vendettas and secrets, had been meticulously searching Daniel's home, planting incriminating evidence in every nook and cranny. Daniel was frantic, reaching out to everyone he trusted, pleading his case and asserting his innocence. Everyone around him, from his family to his closest friends, believed in his innocence. They couldn't fathom why Chance was so determined to see Daniel behind bars. It was a mystery that only deepened with each passing day. Phyllis Summers, Daniel's mother, had been a pillar of strength throughout this ordeal. She knew that the key to Daniel's freedom lay in uncovering the truth behind the planted evidence. Phyllis had already discovered suspicious activities and inconsistencies in the evidence Chance presented, but she needed more to definitively prove Daniel's innocence. Chance's relentless pursuit. Chance Chancellor was not just any investigator, he was relentless and had his own reasons for targeting Daniel.
As Chance continued his search, he left no stone unturned. He hacked into personal devices, interrogated employees, and even resorted to intimidation to gather the evidence he believed would secure Daniel's conviction. His obsession with finding the next culprit was consuming him, blinding him to the possibility that he might be misled or manipulated. The tipping point. The situation reached a tipping point when Chance obtained access to Daniel's home without any oversight. Alone and armed with his determination, Chance began his invasive search, uncovering what he believed to be damning evidence. However, the deeper he delved, the more questions arose about the legitimacy of his findings. Daniel, sensing that Chance's actions were driven by something more personal than professional, doubled down on his efforts to clear his name. He rallied his family and allies, seeking legal assistance and leveraging his connections within Newman Enterprises to counteract the false accusations. Phyllis, determined to protect her son, worked tirelessly to find the truth. She combed through financial records, communications, and even shadowed Chance's movements, searching for any hint of foul play or ulterior motives. Her efforts were met with resistance and skepticism from those who had blindly trusted Chance's integrity. A web of deceit. As the days turned into weeks, the Abbott and Newman families found themselves entangled in a web of deceit and betrayal. Claire's interference, Kyle's descent into greed, and Chance's relentless pursuit of Daniel created a volatile mix of tensions that threatened to explode at any moment. Victoria and Cole struggled to maintain unity within their family, trying to shield their children from the chaos while addressing the underlying issues that were tearing them apart. They knew that the survival of their legacy depended on their ability to navigate these treacherous waters without succumbing to the same pitfalls that had led to Billy and Victoria's divorce. Daniel's situation became increasingly dire as Chance's evidence grew more convincing. Despite the mounting pressure, Daniel remained steadfast in his belief that he was innocent. His desperation was palpable, as he reached out to allies both within and outside the family to uncover the truth behind the planted evidence. The final confrontation. The climax of this tumultuous period was inevitable. As Chance's investigation reached its peak, Phyllis uncovered a crucial piece of evidence that could turn the tide in Daniel's favor. It was a hidden camera footage from Daniel's house, revealing Chance tampering with the evidence and planting incriminating items to frame Daniel. Armed with this revelation, Phyllis confronted Chance in a dramatic showdown. The confrontation took place in the very house that Chance had invaded, now a symbol of the battle for Daniel's freedom. Emotions ran high as Phyllis